far distance because he didn't want to interrupt in that Shri Ram's pastime. So Sati asked, Prabhu, O Shiva, to whom you paid obeisances? He said, to my Prabhu, Shri Ram. Is he your Prabhu? Yes, he is my Lord and he is the Lord of all Lords. He is Supreme Lord. She said, but there is a confusion. Why confusion happens? When there is a fusion, there is always a confusion. Fusion creates all confusion. How he can be your Lord, your worshipable? Because I know where Sita is. And if he is Bhagwan, if he is Lord, don't he know where Sita is? I want to check. I want to test him if he is Bhagwan or not. Shiva said, yes, go ahead. You can check. But I am going to Kailash. Shiva, we didn't want you to interrupt in the pastime of Ram. Then he went to Kailash. Now, Sati, the wife of Shiva, she disguised herself as Sita Devi. Understand the point? Exactly like Sita ji. And when Ram is asking trees, have you seen my Sita? Then Sati came forward. And Ram turned his face around. Now asking flowers, have you seen my Sita? Sati came in front of Ram. And again he turned his face around. So every time he's turning his face around, and Sati is just coming in front of Ram. Because she wants to test. Finally Ram has to say, oh Sati, Mahadev already left. What are you doing here? Mahadev is already gone. What are you doing here? You should also go. And now she felt so embarrassed. How he knows that I am Sati? And how he knows that Shiva just left to Kailash to his abode? Then she felt so ashamed. Oh my goodness, he is Ram, he is Bhagwan. And I am testing on him. So she came back to Mahadev, very embarrassed, nervous, because she did something wrong. And she knew Mahadev was not going to like this idea. But she is pretending everything is fine. And she came, tried to sit left to her husband. Left, sitting left is the place of wife. Understand? Wife always sitting left. And mothers, they sit in front. That's the positioning. So Sati came and she wanted to sit left to her husband Mahadev, Shiva. Shiva said, no, Sati. No. Don't sit here. Sit in front of me. Sit in front of me. And Sati said, why? I'm your wife. I'm supposed to sit left to you. Mahadev said, but you're not my wife anymore. What do you mean? Mahadev said, sit in front of me. That's the place of mother. So from now onwards, you're going to be mine. I'll call you as my mother. And Sati, she closed her ears. What are you saying? Never use this word again. Mahadev said, because you took the form, you disguised as my mother Sita to test my Prabhu Ram. So you will be my mother now. I will not accept you as my wife anymore. She became so broken. And she knew if Shiva has said this, he means this. And he will never accept me as his wife. And after some days, Sati, she saw her sisters with their husbands in an airplane decorated themselves so nicely. And they're going to their father. And who's their father? Daksh Prajapati, who's performing a big yajna. And he invited all demigods, all Greek personalities. But he didn't give any invitation to Shiva. Because he offended Shiva, and he didn't like Shiva at all. No portion of Shiva. Now sisters, when they are in plane, they look down upon Sati. Hey Sati, you not coming? She said, where? Our father is performing yajna, we all going. And she said, yes, I'm coming. You all go, I'm just coming. Now Sati approached Mahadev. Prabhu, I heard my father is performing a big yajna. All my sisters are going, along with their husbands. Chalo, let's go. We also have to go. Shiva smiled. Oh no, Sati, I don't want to go there. Say, but why? Everyone is going. Shiva said, because your father, he don't like me. He is envious to me. And I don't want to disturb and interrupt in his ceremony. So better I stay here. And I didn't got any invitation. We didn't got any invitation from him. And we are not supposed to go if there is no invitation. That's common sense. Sati, when she heard this, she said, listen, Prabhu, it's also your fault, yes? When everyone stood up, when my father arrived, because he was on a senior post. And Brahmaji made him senior post, gave him a senior post. So when everyone stood up in honor, why can't you just for 1 second, 1 minute, you could have also stand up in the honor? What was wrong in doing this? And everything started from that point. Shiva smiled. Sati, I was so absorbed in seeing the pastime of my Prabhu, I didn't even realize when Daksha, he entered my palace in the assembly hall. I didn't even saw him because I was not there. My absorption was in the pastime of my Prabhu. I was visualizing the pastimes. Therefore, even though physically I was there, but mentally I was not even there. That is called no transgression of any etiquette. If the intent is very high and superior, then there is no transgression of etiquette. If the intentions are not superior, inferior, then there is offense. According to etiquette, if any senior Vaishnava arrives, everyone is supposed to stand up in honor. It's called etiquette. It's called Vaishnava etiquette. No matter whatever you're doing, even at the point of, even if you are serving deities, stop that. And first of all, welcome a devotee. Means Guru, Gurudev, if he walks in, even at the edge of, at the point of, stop the worship of your deity and first of all, welcome and serve your Gurudev and then serve Krishna. And there is an example in Srimad Bhagavatam. Once upon a time, King Indradyumna, he was serving his deities, Shaligram. And he saw a great sage, August Rishi. Which month is this? Huh? August. And August Rishi. What is his glories? He swallowed 7 oceans like this. In 1 pound. Swallowed the 7 oceans. We can't even drink 7 bottled water. Anyone? 7 buckets of water? And he swallowed 7 oceans. Imagine, 7 oceans. So see, Indradyumna saw he's coming, but because of this rule and regulation that one is not supposed to stand up if you're serving your deity, he was strictly following that rule. And sometimes too much adherence to rules and regulation is also fault and against bhakti. When Agast Rishi arrived there, he cursed Indradyumna Maharaj. O King Indradyumna, even seeing I am coming here, you didn't give me respect by standing in honor. You sitting like an elephant. I curse you. You become elephant. And because of this, King Indradyumna became elephant. And his name is Gajendra. Another pastime related to this. See, these are etiquettes. Bhagavatam is showing us. These are very basic etiquettes and a common sense. Common sense. Another point, so many sages were sitting and hearing Harikatha. Imagine, we all sitting here, I am speaking, you all hearing. Imagine if Gurudev walks in. What are we supposed to do, Ramnath? All of us, including me, stand up immediately with the first vision if Gurudev walks in. If we don't, fault, offense. Gurudev is not taking offense, but Krishna will not spare us. So many sages were sitting, 88,000 sages, rishis. And Romarshan Sut, one sage, Romarshan, was speaking Harikatha from Puranas. And in the middle of this assembly, Shri Baldev Prabhu, Balaram Ji, he is source of all Gurudevs. Akhand Guru Tattva, undivided Guru Tattva. He walked and seeing him, everyone stood up except one person, the speaker, one who was speaking. Because he is in his mind, I am serving my Lord by speaking Harikatha. I am not supposed to stand up. When you serve Harikatha, speaking Harikatha means you are serving Harikatha. You are not supposed to stand up. Anyone walks in, you are not supposed to stand up. Yes, but if Gurudev walks in, immediately you have to stand up. Romarshan Sut was sitting, even seeing Baldev Prabhu, who can be more superior than Baldev Prabhu? Even Krishna stand up in honor to Baldev Prabhu, Balaram Prabhu. But Romarshan Sut was sitting, and Baldev Prabhu seeing this is not etiquette. It's not etiquette. And if I don't react to this, this will become a custom in the society. And that's the reason why the great personality, they react. Because they don't want to make this a trend. And maybe if we like, the audience, if they like or they don't like, that's not the matter. Many will like your point, many will not like your point. But it's a responsibility of seniors to always educate the proper system. If they're not educating, then all the faults will come to them. Because everyone giving you regard and respect, and it's your responsibility to educate everyone. That's your seva. So if we don't say this, if seniors not say this, then they will be at fault. So they're supposed to say this, and in the audience, 50-50 ratio, 50 wants to follow, 50 don't want, then it's all their fault. Then senior has no fault at all. Understand the point? That's why Shri Baldev Prabhu, he reacted there immediately in front of all the sages. He took a blade of grass and he chopped off his head. cut his hand and kill him. And all the sages were astonished. What? They all started lamenting. Oh Baldev Prabhu, we were hearing Harikatha. And who is going to speak Harikatha to us now? Shri Baldev Prabhu said, don't worry. I want you to give a lesson to the entire world. What is lack of etiquette? And what's the consequence? So looks like Baldev Prabhu killed him, but we also get killed not externally when we transgress the etiquettes, but we also killing ourselves internally. Killing ourselves internally means not following the rules and regulations, the etiquettes. We are committing offense to the Vaishnavas and Gurudev. And the consequence is no taste in chanting, no inspiration in bhakti, no inspiration in learning anything. No inspiration, no inspiration. So that's why when everyone asks for Baldev Prabhu, from where are we going to hear Harikatha? Shri Baldev Prabhu, small tiny boy, just like maybe like the son of that sage, Ramarshal Sut, who was been killed by Baldev Prabhu, his own son was sitting there. Shri Baldev Prabhu said, he is going to speak Harikatha. And he was so nervous, I don't know anything. I'm small, young, and they are all so seniors. Shri Baldev Prabhu took his hand and made him sit on the asana, the seat, and kept his hand on his head and transmitted all energy in him. Understand? That's called transmission. Transmitting all energy. And Sut Goswami, his name is Ugra Shava Sut, means Sut Goswami. He is speaking Bhagavad Katha to all the sages. To wonder how he came to know all this. Therefore remember in spiritual life, Mukam Karoti Vachalam. All of you learn this verse. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangun Lange Te Girim Yat Kripa Kamam Vande Paramanand Madhavam. Prabhu, what is the meaning? Mataji?
बिना पाँव के भी चल सकते हैं, बिना बोलने भी सब कुछ आता है.
Speak English.
गुरु की कृपा होती है.
Mukam Karoti Vachalam. A dumb person starts speaking, and a lame person can even climb the mountains when there is blessing of Guru and Krishna. Even a dumb person starts speaking. Whatever spiritual qualities we develop in our process of bhakti, good singing, good speaking, learning verses, memorizing verses, reading books, all these qualities which we are accumulating in spiritual life, who is the person behind this? It's not us. Never ever keep this in mind. We cannot even chant one time Hare Krishna. We are not qualified. It's only by the mercy, Guru Kripahi Kevalam, by the mercy of Gurudev, who is transmitting that mercy in us, and is teaching us, taking so much pain in teaching us, educating us, everything. So we can't repay him. We can't repay him. He is giving us spiritual education. He is making us Vaishnava and Vaishnavis. We can't repay him forever. Indebted to him for his contribution in making us devotees. We can't repay him. That's the glories. Guru Kripahi Kevalam. Always remember. Oh Gurudev, now I started speaking Harikatha. How? If I say because I practice this. Totally wrong. You can become a motivational speaker. You can become a big lecturer in your university. But in spiritual matters, everything rely on, every single quality we develop is only by the blessing of Gurudev. Then never forget this. Always keep in your head. Otherwise, if you don't keep in this head, you become high-headed. And we have to become low-headed. But this is a fact. So this is another example. Third example. There are many. I'm giving one more. Once upon a time in Swarg in heaven, who is the king of all demigods? Very good. Indra. He was sitting on his throne as king. All demigods, his guests were also present there. And they are having nice time singing, dancing with apsaras. And the Gurudev of demigods. Who is Gurudev of demigods? All these questions I'm going to ask next time. Yes, Prabhu. Brahaspati. Shri Brahaspati, Gurudev of all demigods. And Gurudev of all demons? Shukracharya. Understand? So Brahaspati means Thursday. And Shukracharya means Friday. Know this? Yes. Shukracharya. Gurudev of all demons. And Brahaspati, Thursday. Gurudev of demigods. So, he was just coming in the assembly hall, and Indra, he looked towards his Gurudev, and seeing him, he turned his face around. With this idea that if I see in the eyes of my Gurudev, then according to etiquette, I have to stand up. And if I will stand up, then everyone will stand up. And the whole assembly, all this singing and dancing will be totally destroyed. So Indra looked towards his Gurudev and he turned his face around. Thus I have not acknowledged you. And that's offense. Brahaspati saw, okay, you don't want me to come? Okay, then I go back. He turned back, and then Indra lamented, oh my goodness, what I did. Blunder mistake. I'm not supposed to do this. Even though he lamented, but offense is already there. So his Gurudev left, and demons, they came to know this. And they always seeking an opportunity to win over Indra. Always. Any little loophole, they just want to enter and take over. Similarly, demons are in mode of ignorance. And demigods are in mode of goodness. So sometimes when we are in mode of goodness, any little mistake, lack of etiquette, offense, demons immediately attack us. Means the mode of ignorance attack us. And we become ignorant. Demons came to know this and they attacked on Swarga. And they took over because of this offense. So these are, offenses if we don't stand up in honor to senior, so Gurudev or senior Vaishnavas. Understand? This is something we need to learn always, and never, another point, never step on even the shadow of one's Gurudev. Even the shadow. Stepping over the shadow of Gurudev means Diksha Guru or Shiksha Guru. This offense is equal as stepping on one's Gurudev. Very important. These are basics disciples should know. One is not supposed to eat prior to serving Gurudev. If he is not eating for some reason, he is not hungry, he has no appetite, etiquette said a disciple, one who is serving, supposed to wait until he finish. No matter how much you are struggling and starving, one is supposed to wait until he finish, honor his Mahaprasad, and then one should take prasad. This is the duty of a sevak, of a disciple. Yes, for special circumstance, something has to be arranged. The sevaka has to do more things. If Gurudev give you permission, don't wait for me. Go ahead, take prasad. Don't wait for me. I'm going to eat later, but you go ahead. Even then, disciple should not be joyous. Oh wow, thank you, Gurudev. I was thinking of this. No. He or she should lament for this. No, Gurudev is fine. I can't eat before you. It's not etiquette. I mean, there is no point of even saying this is not etiquette. This should be natural. But if he insists you, try and understand, I want you to eat, then obey his order and go ahead. These are basic etiquettes one should know. Anyway, Shiva, when Sati said, why can't you just stand up for a minute and all this episode would have not happened? Shiva said, Sati, I was not even there. I was not even there. My body was there, but my mind was in the pastimes of Lord. And on the top of that, Brahma and Shiva, they are not supposed to stand up. This is again a point. They are not supposed to stand up for the Prajapati because it's inferior to them. If a senior, if a Gurudev stand to respect you, that's also offense. If he gets up to respect you, to honor you, again this is a lack of etiquette. Try to understand this. What's time? I told you already? My goodness. Something wrong in the quiz. Time goes fast. Who is the best queen? Huh? Radharani. And all of you are who? Servants of Radha. Yes? Very good. Achha. Shiva, also in the pastime of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as what? What is his name? You all chant this before Mahamantra. Go ahead, don't worry. Yeah, what is Panchatattva? Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Loud. So who is Shiva here? Advaitacharya Prabhu is Shiva, the pastime of Mahadev. Anna? Sadashiva. So therefore, when he was young boy, very small, his father, he named him as Kamlaksha. Kamlaksha means lotus eyes. Lotus eye. And his father always used to go in the palace to hear some glories of the Lord. And the system is, right at the gate, there was a deity of Kali. You know Kali? Durga. And the rule was, whoever walks in has to pay, mandatory, to pay obeisances to Durga to walk in. So Advaitacharya Prabhu, as young boy, with his father, when entering in, his father going down, but this boy is not going down. And everyone later complained to his father, listen, I know your boy is very young, but you should teach him. There's a system, we all should pay obeisances, bow down our head to Durga before we enter. And his father said, yes, I'm going to teach him today. When father came back home, he said, oh boy, Kamlaksha, his name was Kamlaksha. Listen, there's no harm going down to Durga. She's Devi. We all follow this. Why don't you? His father, okay, if you're telling me, okay, tomorrow I will do. Yes, good boy. Again next day. When he came, the young boy, he came in front of Durga Devi, he was reluctant, not going down. The father was looking at him. He came back home again talking. What's wrong with you? You said you're going to go down. He said, Father, but I'm reluctant. No reluctant. You have to go down. The third day, again when they entered, now father looking to his son, must go down. And instead of going down completely, Shri Advaitacharya Prabhu, he just, can say, little head like this with the intent to go down. The deity of Durga exploded. Boom. Why?
Past life his wife.
Not past life.
Always.
Durga Devi is consort of Shiva. She cannot tolerate my husband going down to me. Shiva is superior. Consort Durga, she is inferior. Superior is not supposed to pay obeisances to inferior. That's another etiquette. So Shiva said, when Daksh Prajapati arrived, I was not even there mentally, physically I was, but again, this is not etiquette that I have to stand up in honor. But then Sati said, but I want to go. Shiva said, we didn't got any invitation. Sati said, listen, isn't it a rule? There's no need for invitation to go in the ashram of one's guru, house of one's father. There's no need of any invitation. If you have to visit your father, no need invitation, you just can go like this. It's your father. And if you have to go to the ashram of your Gurudev, no need invitation, just go. Sati said, but it's my father's yajna. I don't need any invitation. Shiva said, Sati, I don't want to go. I don't want to create disturbance there. If you want, you decide. She's so restless. Shall I go? Shall I not? Shall I go? Then she decorated herself nicely. And she came to Mahadev and said, if you're not going, I understand, but I want to go. Shiva said, go, but be careful. And Sati went with Nandi, the carrier of Shiva. She came in the arena of yajna of Daksh Prajapati, and when she entered, everyone turned their face around. Because Daksh Prajapati, everyone scared of Daksha father. Because she was unwanted guest. She felt so bad. And she looked around everywhere. Every great personality has their portion. But there is not a single portion of my husband Mahadev, who is a great personality. No portion kept for him. She felt so hurt. Then mother came. She welcomed. Oh, come, my daughter. She embraced. Come, come, come. Mother, she reconciled because the sweet relationship between mother and daughter. They understand each other well, better than father. She came forward. She said, oh, come, my daughter. Come, come, come. You're most welcome. Come. But Sati already got so much hurt. And she spoke to her father directly. Listen, I came here. I feel so hurted to see you didn't respect my Prabhu, Mahadev. I'm not saying because he's my husband, but you forgot. Don't you know he's a great personality? There's not a single portion of my Shiva here. You committing offense to my husband. She spoke very harsh. So speaking to your father is also against etiquette. But in this case, she is taking side of her husband, and which is not only her husband, she is taking side of her guru, means great personality Shiva. She is also playing the role of not only wife but also as a disciple. And therefore, she decided, she is already in her head, Shiva is not going to accept me as wife. Remember this? I spoke. He will not going to accept me as a wife because I offended, disguised as Sita, and he don't want to accept me as wife anymore. So what is the use of my life? And she entered in that fire, the yajna. Means she threw herself in the fire. She threw herself in the fire in front of everyone. And everyone, what is this? What is this? What is this? She got burned. And the messengers of Shiva informed him. Shiva became ferocious. Hearing this, and he came on the scene, and he took Sati on his shoulder, and he started, kind of like destruction. He became mad, angry, ferocious, and that's going to destroy the whole creation. Shiva became mad. Sati has given life because of me. To save the creation, then Vishnu came with a Sudarshan Chakra and he cut the body of Sati. She was already dead. Vishnu cut the body of Sati in 52 portions. 52 portions. And wherever those portions fell on the ground, that became Shakti Peak, means most potential, devotional and powerful place to get perfections. These 52 places in India. All the way North India, Jammu, where the head of Sati fell. Millions of people go there to get the desired fulfilled. And everywhere, in Kolkata, Calcutta, and so many places in India, 52 places, they became Shakti Peeth, very, very powerful place.
In the Kurukshetra. In Kurukshetra, ankle.
And also Kurukshetra. क्या गिरा था?
Ankle. घुटना.
Ankle, yes. Means just the feet and the ankle, that portion. She's correct. So this is how Daksh Prajapati, Mahadev, Shiva's associates spoiled his whole yajna. And there are many details, a very cut short story now. Veerbhadra Prabhu. Veerbhadra means Shiva took one of his headlock, threw it on the ground, and a great personality, very powerful, Veerbhadra appeared. He said, yes, my lord, what is the order? He said, cut the head of Daksh Prajapati. All those demigods who laughed on Shiva by hearing his criticism, they all got wounded and cut, took their eyes out, took their teeth out, and Daksh Prajapati, his head was chopped off. But then all demigods, they went to Kailash, Mahadev. Oh Mahadev, please be merciful, please be merciful. All demigods wounded, everything is destroyed, please be merciful. Shiva smiled. He said, oh, I am not envious to anyone. I just wanted to give a lesson to Daksha, who was so egoistic. He thinks he's everything. I just wanted to give a lesson. Okay, don't worry. Just you all go back and let everyone who got wounded, they become healthy again. But what about the demigod Pusha, who with his punch lost his teeth? He said, no problem. He don't have to eat any solid food. He can stay on liquid diet. He can still survive. In this way, he gave remedies to everyone. And for Daksh Prajapati, what's the remedy? Oh, put the head of goat. May he have a goat head. Because goats speak what? She's the best goat. Always meh means I. This is an ego. In this way, this was a consequence of the offense towards a great personality, Shiva. In this way, my Guru Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, he compiled a series of lectures in writing articles. The book is Heart of Krishna, and so many pastimes from Bhagavatam describing Vaishnava Prana. So many of you got on WhatsApp group this book. I sent to Shri Ramanath Prabhu, and he forwarded to you, all of you. Whenever you're sitting, chanting, just go ahead, read, and you get so much information and knowledge and education. Yeah. So we should be very careful of committing Vaishnava Prana. It's so easy to offend anyone. Just speak bad about someone, spread rumors about someone, don't understand someone, just speak whatever you want. It's so easy to do, but when it comes to consequence, then so much problems, mental problem, health issues because of this. Beware. When we are together as Vaishnavas, there is so much strength. We are hearing and chanting, serving nicely together as a family, a godly family. So much facility. If we are alone at home, we must be watching movie or song or going out here and there. But we are together 2-3 hours, we are utilizing our time in Krishna consciousness because of everyone's vibes together. But if we offend anyone, even in mind, it's very dangerous. Only this thing we have to be very careful of. And rest all is excused. Only this is the point which is not excused. Very careful. Very careful. And if someone is doing this, we should politely, humbly, father, mother, sister, brother, husband, wife, we should teach them. I saw one couple, very loving couple. They made a principle in their life. Husband telling his wife telling his husband, listen, we see many things around. Someone is not falling nicely, XYZ. But if I say something wrong about someone, you should correct me. She said yes. And if I say something wrong, you should correct me. Because it's our human tendency, we always... And when I stay with them, I see this. moment husband starts speaking something, wife said, hey listen, stop it. It's not our duty. We should focus on what we are doing. He said, oh, okay, I understand. Sorry. And many times I see she starts something and husband says, keep your mouth shut. You're not supposed to do this. She said, oh, okay, I understand. I'm sorry. So there's a commitment. They're committed to each other. You should correct me, you should correct me. So they don't feel bad if they both correct them. So it's just husband-wife, but it can be any relation. Because something we are careful of, Vaishnav Aparad. Very careful of this. Don't take this easy. It's something very serious. Very, very serious. Okay? So, next trip, we're going to hear more Harikatha. If you all want to learn, I'm ready to explain. If you say no, we don't want to learn, then I will not teach anything and I will just speak something and go away. But that's not my purpose. Believe me, my style is different. Wherever I go, any house, any congregation, I always try to teach what I have learned from my seniors, from my guru. Because that's my duty. And if I don't follow my duty, I'm at fault. Understand? So please help me to serve you, to teach you. In the last concluding verse, just want to say, not only just words, but right from the bottom of my heart. Thanks to Krishnamohan Prabhu, his wife, this whole backyard, their home actually, is their heart, and how open their heart is for all of us. Since I'm coming here some years now, I never heard word no they ever said to anyone. One Bhagavad Saptah ends, and if I want to start another, they never say no. And we all are witness. Yes or no? You can imagine the height of their humility and how open they are. The whole house, they have no privacy. We go inside their house, kitchen, everything. And imagine if it's happening in our home, we'll get frustrated in just 2 or 3 programs. But we never hear any complaints, and never hear any complaints coming from their mouth. Never. We always welcome any picture, any programs. So much appreciation, so much appreciation. That is from their heart. What was supposed to be from our side, also we need to learn this. What we are supposed to do? We are also supposed to serve them. Right? Honestly saying, any family here, imagine if you're hosting programs one after the other, one after the other. One time it will come in our head, oh, it's too much. Cleaning, winding up, setting, chairs, asan, mic system, so many things to take care of. Cooking, then cleaning, then going to work from next day, early morning. They never ever complain for anything. But I should not take advantage of their humility and simplicity. I'm telling myself that I should also try to understand. They also have family, they also have work. So we are supposed to serve them in settling whenever we leave. Please don't mind this. Everyone is doing this. Why I'm saying this? Because I'm appreciating everyone. Such a nice Sangha here in Queens. Everyone is so nice. They're bringing prasadam for all devotees. The moment Harikatha ends up, Balram Prabhu starting Aarti, Mataji in the back start serving everyone. And all male section they start cleaning and they're settling the chairs, tables, everything. It's so nice. And wherever I go, Hawaii, Badger, so many sanghas in Seattle, every Sangha I see, all they do like this. Because then it's not a burden on a host. The point is that. It's not a burden on any host, whoever is hosting in any home, anywhere. If we're together, then there's no burden, it goes very smooth. So I'm thankful to all Matajis who cooked for this program here. And all the Prabhus who help in cleaning, because they also need space. Actually, I'm at fault because I'm speaking lecture and I don't have watch actually, it's my problem. And I go on speaking. I feel the light. So I go on speaking, I don't see time and it gets too late. And they suffer because of me. I keep on sitting and speaking and every program goes so late and they go to bed so late and early morning they have to go work. It's my fault, so I ask forgiveness for this. And please forgive all of us for troubling you so much for this wonderful program. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpataru bhyascha kripa sindhu bhyavacha patitanam bhavnebhyo Vishnu. Krishnaman Prabhu, want to say something?
No, I just said enough.
You said enough?
We should clap for you.
We
should clap for you.
Big clapping for me. And even our girls, they are not small, they are big one. They can also do some service here. Yes? This is how they will learn. They should serve Krishna. And then some cleaning. Yes. This is called Vaishnav Seva. You are serving Vaishnavas. Yeah? Including you. Gaur Premanande Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Saying thanks is very simple, right? Every step, thanks. The best way to say thanks to this family, we all pray to Krishna to bless them. And how we can do this? By chanting Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande. So thank you for program tomorrow.